What if the difference between a productive day and a wasted day is decided before 9 a.m.? Not because successful people wake up at 4 a.m., not because they have some secret morning routine, and definitely not because drinking coffee at sunrise magically makes you successful. The real difference is what they do with their attention before the world starts demanding it. Think about your own mornings. You wake up, you reach for your phone. One notification becomes 5. You check a message, then social media, then the news, then someone else's life. And suddenly, before you've even gotten out of bed, your mind has already been pulled in 10 different directions. You haven't decided what matters today. The internet decided for you, and this is where modern psychology and ancient Stoicism meet. Psychology tells us that our behavior is strongly influenced by cues, environments, habits, and the intentions we set before acting. The Stoics approached the same problem from a different angle. They asked, "What is within my control?" Your entire day isn't within your control. Your boss isn't. Traffic isn't. Other people's moods aren't. The economy isn't. Your notifications aren't. But your first decisions are. And those first decisions can create momentum. So today, we're going to look at 5 things successful people often do before 9 a.m. And more importantly, why these habits work. Because the goal isn't to copy someone's morning routine. The goal is to understand the psychology behind it and build a morning that makes you harder to distract, harder to manipulate, and more capable of doing what actually matters. Number 1. They protect their attention before 9 a.m. Successful people don't necessarily accomplish more. They often protect what matters most, their attention. Imagine your brain is a room. When you wake up, that room is relatively quiet. Then you open your phone. A notification walks in. Then a news headline. Then an argument. Then an email. Then a video. Then another person's vacation. Suddenly the room is crowded. And now you sit down to work. But your mind is still carrying everything you consumed. This is one reason the first hour matters. Your attention has limits. Every time you switch between different sources of information, your mind has to reorient itself. You may physically move from one task to another, but part of your attention can remain stuck on what you were just doing. Psychology often describes this as attention residue, and in a world designed to capture your attention, protecting it becomes a competitive advantage. The Stoics understood the importance of attention long before smartphones existed. Epictetus taught that we should distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. You may not control what appears on your screen, but you control whether you open it. You may not control what someone posts, but you control whether you spend 20 minutes thinking about it. You may not control the news, but you control when you consume it. That's why one of the simplest morning habits is also one of the hardest. Don't give your phone the first claim on your mind. You don't have to throw it away. You don't have to become a monk. Just create a small window, perhaps the first 20 or 30 minutes, where your attention belongs to you. Drink your coffee, take a shower, walk, write, think, plan. Do something that begins with your own intention instead of someone else's notification. Because if you start your morning reacting, you may spend the rest of the day reacting. But if you start your morning choosing, you create a completely different pattern. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." You don't need to control the entire world. You just need to stop giving the world unlimited access to your mind. And that brings us to the second thing, because protecting your attention is only useful if you know where to put it. Number 2, they decide what matters before the world decides for them. Most people start the day with a long list of things they could do. Emails, messages, meetings, calls, notifications, small tasks, big tasks. And because everything looks urgent, they become busy without becoming productive. There's a difference. Being busy means you're doing things. Being productive means you're doing things that actually matter. This is where psychology gives us an incredibly useful concept: implementation intentions. The basic idea is simple. Instead of saying, "I'll work on my goal today," you decide in advance. When will I do it? Where will I do it? What exactly will I do? For example, at 9 a.m. I will sit at my desk and work on the project for 1 hour before checking social media. That's much more powerful than simply saying, I need to be productive today, because you've already made the decision. You don't have to negotiate with yourself later, and that matters because every decision costs mental energy. The more choices you make throughout the day, the easier it becomes to choose the easiest option. So before 9 a.m., successful people often establish a priority, not 10. 1. Ask yourself, if I accomplish only one meaningful thing today, what should it be? Maybe it's finishing a project, making an important call, studying, training, writing, building your business, having a difficult conversation, whatever it is. Identify it, then protect time for it. The Stoics understood this idea through the concept of living deliberately. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself to focus on the task directly in front of him. Not everything, the task. That's important, because your life can be destroyed by things that are individually small, but collectively consume everything. One email, one notification, one pointless argument, one more video, one more hour of scrolling. None of them seem dangerous until you look back and realize they consumed years. So before the world tells you what to care about, decide for yourself. Ask, what deserves my attention today? Then act accordingly, because your priorities are not what you say matters. Your priorities are what your time proves matters. Number 3, they move their body. Now, this one sounds obvious, but there's a reason it keeps appearing in almost every discussion about high performance. Movement changes more than your body. It affects your mental state. Physical activity is associated with improvements in mood and cognitive functioning, and even short periods of movement can be useful for breaking up sedentary time and changing how you feel. But here's what matters for our discussion. You don't need to train like an athlete. The goal isn't to destroy yourself before breakfast. The goal is to send your brain a message. I can make my body do something before I feel completely ready. That's important, because many people have trained themselves to obey comfort. If they're tired, they don't move. If they're not motivated, they don't start. If something feels difficult, they postpone it. Eventually, the brain learns. Discomfort means stop, but discipline teaches the opposite. Discomfort doesn't automatically mean stop. That's very Stoic. Seneca wrote about deliberately practicing discomfort. He sometimes encouraged temporary simplicity so that people could discover that the things they feared losing weren't as necessary as they imagined. The lesson isn't that you need to suffer every morning. The lesson is that comfort should be your servant, not your master. So move, walk outside, stretch, lift weights, do body weight exercises, run, anything you can sustain. And while you're doing it, don't think about becoming a different person tomorrow. Think about keeping one promise today, because every time you keep a small promise to yourself, you strengthen self-trust. And self-trust is one of the foundations of discipline. You don't become disciplined by constantly telling yourself, I need more discipline. You become disciplined by repeatedly doing what you said you would do, even when the mood isn't perfect, even when motivation isn't there, even when nobody is watching. That's why your morning movement isn't just about fitness. It's practice. Practice for the difficult conversation. Practice for the stressful meeting. Practice for the day when things don't go according to plan. You're teaching yourself, I can act without waiting for perfect feelings. And that brings us to something even more powerful, because after moving your body, you need to learn how to control your mind. Number 4, they create a few minutes of silence. Imagine starting every morning with noise, music, videos, messages, news, podcasts, notifications, someone talking, someone selling something, someone telling you how to live. Now imagine doing the opposite. For 5 minutes, nothing, no phone, no entertainment, no stimulation, just silence. At first, you might hate it. Your mind starts producing thoughts, things you forgot, things you're worried about, things you need to do, things you regret. That's normal. You don't need to eliminate those thoughts. You need to learn how to observe them without immediately obeying them. This is one of the places where Stoicism becomes extremely relevant to modern psychology. The Stoics practiced reflection. They examined their judgments. They questioned their emotional reactions. They asked whether something was actually happening, or whether their mind was adding a story to it. Modern psychological practices such as mindfulness also train a related skill, noticing thoughts and feelings without automatically reacting to them. That skill is incredibly valuable. Imagine someone sends you a rude message. Your first thought is, who does this person think they are? Your body reacts. Your heart rate rises. You start typing a response. But then you pause. You breathe. You read it again. And you realize you don't actually need to respond emotionally. That's the space we're trying to build. Not between you and the world, between stimulus and reaction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That doesn't mean you can control every emotion. It means you can practice your response to it. 5 minutes of silence every morning can become a small training ground for that ability. Sit, breathe, think, write, reflect. Ask yourself, what am I worried about? What is actually within my control? What am I avoiding? What kind of person do I want to be today? And then let the answers guide your actions, because silence isn't empty. Sometimes silence is where you finally hear yourself think. And now we reach the fifth habit. This one might be the most important of all, because you can have discipline. You can have goals. You can protect your attention. You can work hard and still waste your life. Number 5. They remember that time is limited. This sounds dark, but the Stoics saw it differently. They didn't think about mortality because they wanted to become depressed. They thought about it because they wanted to live deliberately. Seneca wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Think about that. Most people don't waste their time in one giant decision. They waste it in tiny pieces. 10 minutes scrolling, 20 minutes worrying, 30 minutes comparing, an hour watching things they don't even remember, another hour arguing with someone online. None of these moments feels important, but add them together and they become your life. That's why successful people often think about time differently. They understand that time is the one resource you cannot earn back. You can lose money and make more, lose a job and find another, fail at something and try again. But yesterday, you cannot purchase it back, and tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The only thing you truly possess is this moment. So before 9 a.m., ask yourself one uncomfortable question. If I knew my time was limited, would I spend today the same way? Would you spend the morning checking strangers' lives? Would you spend an hour worrying about an opinion that won't matter next year? Would you keep postponing the conversation you know you need to have? Would you continue working toward a goal you don't even care about? Or would you change something? This question creates clarity, and clarity creates action. Because when you realize that your time is limited, you stop treating every distraction like it deserves your attention. You become more selective. You start saying no. You start protecting your relationships. You start taking your health seriously. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You understand that the perfect moment is usually just another excuse. Your life isn't waiting for you somewhere in the future. It's happening while you're reading this. It's happening while you're drinking your coffee. It's happening during your commute. It's happening during the conversation you keep postponing. And it's happening every morning you wake up. So what does this look like in real life? It doesn't need to be complicated. You wake up, and for the first part of your morning, you don't immediately give your attention to your phone. You protect your mind. Then you decide what matters most. One priority, one meaningful task. Then you move your body. You don't need a perfect workout. You just need to act. After that, you create a few minutes of silence. You reflect. You breathe. You observe your thoughts. Then you remember that your time is limited. Not tomorrow. Today. And when you eventually open your phone, you do it as someone who has already chosen the direction of the day, not someone waiting for the internet to tell them what matters. That's the difference. The goal isn't to become obsessed with productivity. The goal is to become intentional, because there is a dark side to modern success culture. People can become so obsessed with achieving that they forget why they're achieving in the first place. They chase money, then more money. They chase status, then more status. They chase productivity, then feel guilty when they rest. Stoicism gives us an important correction. Success isn't simply about getting more. It's about becoming better at governing yourself. A person who earns millions but cannot control his impulses is not necessarily free. A person who has thousands of followers but cannot tolerate criticism is not necessarily confident. A person who has a full calendar but no idea what matters is not necessarily productive. Real success begins internally, and that's why these 5 habits matter. They aren't magic. They won't guarantee wealth. They won't make every problem disappear, but they can help you build something more fundamental: attention, discipline, clarity, self-control, and intentionality. Tomorrow morning, don't try to become a completely different person. Don't create a 2-hour routine that you'll abandon after 3 days. Start smaller. Protect your attention. Choose one priority. Move your body. Spend 5 minutes in silence. Remember that your time is limited. Then go into your day. The Stoics understood something that modern life constantly makes us forget. You don't need to control everything. You need to control what is yours. Your choices, your attention, your actions, your judgments, your response. That's enough, because the quality of your life is built from repeated moments, and your morning is simply the first one. So before 9 a.m. tomorrow, don't ask yourself, how can I get more done? Ask something deeper. How can I become the person capable of doing what matters? That question changes everything. Because success isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming someone who can handle the journey. Someone who can remain calm when things go wrong. Someone who can work when motivation disappears. Someone who can walk away from distractions. Someone who can choose discipline over temporary comfort. Someone who understands that time is precious and refuses to waste it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. So don't spend tomorrow morning thinking about becoming disciplined. Practice discipline. Don't spend the morning thinking about becoming focused. Practice focus. Don't wait to become successful before you start living intentionally. Start now. Because your future isn't created someday. It's being built by what you repeatedly do today. And tomorrow morning, you get another chance. Protect your attention. Choose your direction. Move. Be silent. Remember your time, then step into the world and make the day yours.